Craig, let's start by looking back at our last league fixture. It was another strong performance against Barrytown United as we kicked off phase 2 with a win.
Yeah, I was really pleased with dominant performance. Obviously, 1-0 probably doesn't do us justice how well we played. It's been the case for the last 3 or 4 games, to be honest. We've played really well and maybe not got the rewards we deserve, as in the amount of goals from the chances we created for the dominancy in the game. So yeah, really pleased with that. And from a performance, the last 3 or 4 games have really been a lot better from a game plan, from a dominating the game, the way we play, the way we want the players to play, how aggressive we want to be, etc., etc. So yeah, really pleased with that.
That's now 8 points clear with just 9 games to go. It's obviously a very good position to be in, but I'm sure you'll be stressing the importance of avoiding any complacency.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, it is a healthy position to be in, but we'd like to be further, and we feel we probably should be further. I know we've been disappointed with a couple of results that have gone our way with okay performances where we probably deserve a little bit more, but where we are 8 points ahead with 9 games to play. It's a healthy position, I've just said, but certainly no complacency. We need to win at least the next 5 or games to make sure that we are there or thereabouts and hopefully over the finish line.
Well, we are back in action this weekend. We host Penybont at Park Hall. We faced them twice already this season, beating them on both occasions. That was then, though. This is now, and they remain a dangerous opponent.
Of course they do. They are. They are. They're probably in a, compared to where they were last year, in a little bit of a false position because they're probably a better team than what they've got on the points accumulation. I think Reece has said it himself. They've not particularly played well in patches this season, but we know they've got some very good players, a lot of experience. Obviously, Reece is a very good manager, lots of experience, and they've got good players. So it's always going to be a tough game. Always has been, always will be. Penybont are very competitive, so we're looking forward to that, and know that if we're not on it, as it is with all teams in this league, then it's not going to be an easy ride.
Since that last meeting, Penybont have lost 2 important players. Gabe Kirko gone to Forest Green Rovers, James Cole to Newport. With those 2 now missing, do you think they'll approach the game any differently this time around?
Well, let's be honest. We're both very good players, aren't they? They've both been, 2 of their best players over the last 18 months. So there'll be a big miss to anybody. We've got to just be, realistic with that. But they've obviously brought people in. They've got other players. Noah Daly's a very, dangerous player. Wood, very good player as well. So you look at it with, it's certainly not going to be an easy game. But I think anybody who loses 2 important players like that, they're going to feel a little bit of that. But how that lasts long for, then that's entirely, we don't know. The players that have come in, could hit the ground running, and we expect that to be the case. Penybont have always been a good team together. So a couple of individuals, then we expect them to be strong in a team ethic.
There was no game this past weekend for your side. How's that affected preparations? Were the players given time off, or were they in training?
Yeah, they were given some time off. Like you said, we've been in since the last week in May. Training, games, etc., etc. It's been the only opportunity you've had to give them a couple of days off. So they had the weekend off and they went and spent some time with family, and well-deserved time. They work hard, and then we've been back at it, on Monday, right the way through to preparing for the game on Saturday. So yeah, it's been a bit of stop-start with the games called off, and then obviously we were out of the Welsh Cup, which has been the first time we haven't got to this stage for a while. So we've missed a couple of weeks, and it's hopefully it's give the opportunity to rest a few tired legs and tired minds, because it's been a long season already. But on the flip side, you don't want to break momentum where we've been playing really well. So it's the lads have been back on it and training and working hard.
It was transfer deadline day yesterday. It brought about a couple of departures, most notably Josh Daniels, Adrian Cheslovich. They've both been superb players for the club for a number of seasons now. Is there anything you'd like to say about the pair of them?
Yeah, both have been fantastic. Obviously, JD was here a little bit shorter time than what Sis was. So JD's fantastic. He done great for where he played a real part in the European football last year in qualifying for where we got to. So, and he's a fantastic player. And obviously, it was personal situation, which we understand. I think I referred to it that some things are bigger than football, and they're just about to give birth to their 3rd child, his wife. They've got no real support mechanism here at all. So to move back to Ireland, you know, with a family, with a young family, is what his wife wanted to do, and she's obviously made a huge commitment to JD moving across to England to start with. I think 6-7 years ago when he first come to Shrewsbury. So you know, we've got respect for JD regards to going back with, you know, for family basis. You know, and as for Sis, you know, Sis was one of my first signings when I come to the club in 2014, and there's, you know, we haven't got enough time in this short interview to talk about Sis, the highs, you know, the lows, the togetherness, the trophies we've won, the bond we've built, in the respect he's built throughout the squad, through all the players, all the staff on and off the pitch. So from that point of view, you know, I put something out on social media this morning regarding Sis, because it's, you know, there's only Ryan Brobber left now, who was with me the first time. Blaine Hudson was, you know, Chris Marriott was, John Routledge was when I come back. You know, so now Sis was the second last one, so now it's just Brobs. But yeah, it's he's been fantastic. He's been excellent. You know, and we wish him all the best, and from a football point of view and from a personal point of view, because him and his family have been big supporters of the club for years. And
finally, Craig, it was great to see Adam Wilson back on the pitch. Last time out against Barry, but what's the injury situation looking like with the remainder of the squad this weekend?
Yeah, good. I think the only one that hasn't trained this week has been Jordan Marshall fully, you know, but he's been in partially. But apart from that, everyone else is back on the pitch. Leo Smith's back on the pitch. Danny Redmond's back on the pitch. Lou Phillips is back on the pitch. Obviously, Adam Wilson got some game time last week, and we missed Isaac for a couple of weeks because of the back and forth with the transfer. So we've got everyone back in now, and Marshy will be fit for the weekend. So you know, we've got everyone available again as far as I'm concerned. So everyone will be training tomorrow, and we'll have a really strong squad to pick from Saturday, and that's where the hard work begins and ends with picking the 11 that can play and the 7 that can be subs. It's always been the hardest part of the job.